So thank you for everyone for opening up. There's a couple themes here throughout those questions. One was, which was very obvious, is especially for people that are stuck in geographic areas that COVID really hit hard with shutdowns and restrictions, is that athletes are really wanting some gameplay and have a fear, a FOMO, a fear of missing out. When it comes to what other players have been able to do, scouts have been able to watch them. I haven't been able to be seen. I haven't been able to be on the ice. I haven't been able to play games. How can I be as good as these other people? I'm going to be left behind. You get depressed. You get unmotivated. I get it. Your child is definitely not the only one. There's lots of them out there. And there's lots of high performers, too, that I've seen at the junior ranks, all the way up even into the pro ranks, where it's been tough to keep motivated, to keep your eyes on the finish line. And because of that, because it's such a unique time, I'm actually going to create, I am creating a course for this, a 4-week program to help people get their mojo back, players get their mojo back, make that team that they want to make. It's going to empower them, get them lifted up, get them rolling. It's going to have support from me in it. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to be launching June 1. So that was a theme. I'll talk to more about that later. But the other theme that really hit close to home to me, which I feel that a lot of people are making sometimes irrational decisions, is the one around price tag and the cost to play hockey, especially at elite level. Unfortunately, it does get expensive, hockey. There's lots of people, big decision makers, that are trying to find ways to curb the expense. And I hope that we are able to tackle this problem as a collective, because a more diversity in the game makes it stronger, makes it better, makes it richer. So we do need that. We want people from all walks of life to be able to enjoy this great sport and to show the talent that resides in our community and have it be displayed on the ice. But why do we, as parents, do this to ourselves sometimes? Meaning, I think we operate from a fear-based scenario when it comes to the development of our children, where they need to play, or what's going to happen if they don't play in this specific place. I don't feel that the majority of people need to, have to, should, are required to leave their local association, especially in like the U13 type age bracket, to go chase private leagues, to go chase more elite hockey, whatever elite means at that age. It's expensive. Lots of time there's travel involved, extra travel, way more time in cars, way more time for these young people not to be exploring, being curious, doing other things, growing a passion for the game themselves, whether it be on local outdoor rinks or finding pickup shinny time or whatever the case may be. We're making these decisions to chase more elite hockey, and I think it's at the expense of a few things. One is the potential local community aspect of the sport, where they're amongst their friends from their schools, in their local community, that are growing relationships, that are being supported by local businesses, that we're involved and engaged and interacting with the community that we live in. I think that's super important and a big part of hockey, and it's a part of the fabric of the game that I think is super cool. So leaving young, takes that away. It also is expensive. Like, there's a lot of people that are like, this is expensive, but I don't want to be left behind. I don't want our child to be left behind. I get it. But the thing is, if you're operating out of fear, that is usually not a solid place to be operating from. And I just want to share that I think that it is unnecessary. You don't need to be fearful. You're not going to get left behind. That's really, every circumstance is different. I get it. Coaches matter. The talent pool in your area matters. But when we're talking about 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, the situations are so rare where you will have the type of talent on your hands that is like prodigy-like, that really cannot play at the local level. They'll have the puck the entire game. There's absolutely zero competition. There's no competitiveness. It's just not going to work. That situation is very rare. For an athlete to leave novice hockey or to leave, Atom hockey, to spend $10,000 to be amongst elite athletes, I don't think is necessary. I don't even know if it's beneficial, to be honest. You want your kid to have the puck. You want your kid to grow confidence with the game. Scoring goals and having the puck and making plays grows confidence, and it also grows the passion for the game. These are things that are super important at a young age. It also opens up time windows, which I've talked about, where they can do other things or play more hockey on their own terms without having somebody with a whistle in their hand telling them what to do and how to do it. All these things, like what's the word I'm looking for? Just the authentic love of the game and the authentic ability to grow a passion for the game is important. And those things, combined with the fact that it's so expensive for some families, tells me that, you know what, just relax. Take a deep breath. You don't have to chase these dreams. I actually had a member of this group messaged me the other day talking about the podcast and talking about a decision that she made for her athlete who was 9, that they're taking them out of this super league environment, this private league that's expensive, and they're bringing them back to their home association because they felt they were leaving a toxic environment. And she did it because of the podcast, because of the message, and because she didn't feel that she had to be scared about leaving it. And that meant the absolute world to me, because that is the first and foremost decision. Do you feel comfortable? Does your athlete feel comfortable? Do they have a genuine good time going there? Do they like everything about it? Those are really, really big decisions. Don't get caught in an environment that you think is toxic or do you think isn't serving your child because you're worried about what happens if he isn't there. What happens to his development or his skill or whatever if he's not there. That will take care of itself, I promise you. I promise you. I know firsthand. I played Pee Wee as a second-year Pee Wee when I probably shouldn't have. We ended up winning the provincial championship, which was awesome. I say this with as much humility as possible. It was just the truth. I was the best Pee Wee player in British Columbia at the time. Probably should have been playing Bantam, but I played Pee Wee. Those memories and those friendships that were created that year, we're talking at 13 years old now, not 9 or 10 or 8. It didn't hurt me as a hockey player, and those things have stuck with me forever. That provincial championship is probably top 3 memory for me in my hockey career. And I played in the NHL, right? Like, that's the perspective that we have to keep here, right? Like local community, local friendships, local relationships, where you feel good, where you feel safe. These are very, very important in your decision-making process. I would love to consult if anyone's having issues with, like, should we be going to a private league? Is this necessary? I'm unsure. I love having those conversations. I'd love to be a support factor for you and understand your personal unique situation and where you're residing and what your options are. But please don't make them out of fear that your child will be left behind. That will take care of itself. And hockey doesn't have to get real until they're into their teenage years. So don't worry about showcases and scouts and keeping up with the Joneses at these young youth levels. Everything will be okay. I promise. Cheers.